So, what have we got?
So it broke up. I didn't catch what you said.
Oh, I was just asking, I was being a bit cheeky. What have we got?
We got just me. Day 5, isn't it? Wow, how the week's flown by.
Yeah. It's it's always fast. Like when you first start, you go, still got 5 days, and then all of a sudden it's at the end of it.
Yeah. And then when you get behind, it's like a bit more pressure. If you want to catch up, you'll be able to.
Yeah, it's so tonight after the challenge finishes, I'll send up a email. So there will be a email containing I'll put the survey in the community as well, and it's basically the further steps, I suppose, that people could take, and you'll see that the content will be available until Sunday night.
Okay.
Yeah. So then at least you got the weekend, and you're 9 hours behind me as well. So you got the time to consolidate or catch up. To do that. And of course, when it runs again in August, you can always attend. And I'm not sure at this stage whether I'll tweak any content or maybe it will just be the same. I've got no idea. If I tweak, it won't be very different. It's just going to be here and there, just I got no idea at the moment. But again, it's even the content in terms of it, the exercises are going to be the same. Your experiences it's always going to be different, and also your depths of experience will be different too. So so I wouldn't underestimate the same content, because then when you think about the same content, you're caught up in the head, and then when you go through the exercises in particular, because then you may not need to watch the video again because you've understood it all. But the exercises will take you to a different level, I hope.
Yes. Makes sense.
So any questions?
Well, I've just literally gone and done my natural attraction.
Okay.
And I followed your lead of picking a tree. But I did wonder whether I could pick. I sort of half knew that maybe I could pick anything really. So I picked, I looked at some teasels and I admired their strength and shape. It's quite hard, isn't it, reflecting it back on yourself? I did a video actually of me with the tree.
Okay.
And my reflections. I'm not sure if I got it, if I'm doing it the right way. I mean, I know it's interpretation, isn't it? A little bit.
Yeah. I think that you're obviously gonna, I hope you're gonna post it in the community.
I will.
Yeah, that's good. It's I think it's sometimes even you've finished the video, for example, you find, okay, this is my attraction. The reflection may not come straight away. Obviously, we've got the challenge, and you hope that you would come up with it. I remember last year was interesting because the challenge was it's still the nature process, but the audience I target was different. So I made a video, and I was thinking, okay, what are the examples? Because I was talking about the oak tree. Okay, so I like this oak tree because it's tall and strong, like myself, because I am tall and strong. And I somehow could really, I could resonate with it, because last year we was around this time really, because it was around my girl's birthday. We started another, I don't know how many months, like we started in July and we didn't go out of the lockdown until I don't remember now, maybe end of September. Yeah, I don't remember, but that was a pretty full-on lockdown. And it was until I was talking to the guy I was partnering with in the challenge, and somehow he said to me, "Oh, thanks for being so patient and being so compassionate." And then all the reflections started to really resonate with me, and it's just the things came out from my mouth. I said, "Oh, it's because of the work I did, right? Like because I was being able to show my compassion. But if I didn't do all the inner work, sorry, just my cords is all caught up on my microphone. But if I didn't do all the inner work, I wouldn't be able to show him the compassion. And in that moment, I somehow just like, gee, I didn't actually recognize it, like, or acknowledge it myself, right? Like I was doing all this good work. And then all the reflection just felt really proper, because sometimes you did a reflection, it's not always the case, but in that case I thought I'll just share that in that moment, or that incident made me realize, oh, this is a moment that all the reflection came into place. Yeah, and it's complete. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yes, I must admit, I have started reading the book, and I was quite interested in what saying about mirroring as well. How projecting sort of just what you might be feeling onto situations, or I'm thinking about the chap that you say about maybe he was mirroring a bit of your energy, or
yeah, but always, because it's in English I think it's proper, it's attraction. So but also I think there was one situation, it was almost my client was leading towards the negative side, but remember, it's always about the positive attraction, not the ones that make you feel sad or bad, that kind of attraction.
Yes, I've
because obviously we want to create our positive experiences. Not saying that we cast the negative ones aside. The ones that how I approach it is, when you are so connected and so grounded in yourself, then you come and deal with the negative situation, then your core is solid. You won't be so overwhelmed by the negativities outside that you want to deal with. But if you're always caught up in the negativities, your body just naturally get triggered into the fight, flight, or freeze or fawn. They say the 4Fs, and that won't do you any good, because then you're caught up in the head, and even though you are in your body, you won't be connected in your body to know what's the best thing to do. And it reminds me that when I hear some of the activists were saying, because with activists it's always about fighting the negatives, right? Like in our human world anyway. But some of the activists find that when they are doing the powerful work, I don't know the specific context, but when they feel they're really powerful, it's when they actually feel connected with themselves, like inside themselves. They're not acting from a place of fear or negativity. They just feel so connected in their own core, and then all the powerful work comes through.
Yes. Oh, that's interesting. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I need to it'd be interesting to sort of case study, wouldn't it, really, activists as well. I think to myself about Greta Thunberg, and then I think actually people like David Attenborough, and obviously his presence, he's truly connected, isn't he? Well, that time, but it's as I say, it's a strength to come from that place to present what's going on as well.
So it's my experience, so I'll share with you. Obviously there are all sorts of activists in the world. You are free to choose whoever you want to follow, and I'm not going to judge who's right, who's more powerful, who's less powerful. It's just the way they are.
Yes, that's true. It's been good. It's been good. I'm just going to shut my window because cars keep coming by and I don't want to interrupt the sound.
Yeah. Have you got anything going on? Otherwise, I'll touch a few more brief points.
No, I think that's it really. You know, I think I picked up on the little bit about in the book actually about if you're going through stress, etc. Then you know you may think you're connected, but you're not really connected, and that resonated with me. So I thought, yes, I need to probably spend more time out there to get past that bit, and then
and also before I want to move on, from my own experience and also working with other people, the natural body part compared to natural presence, people will probably find a bit harder. Like obviously natural attraction is challenging for them as well. I think it's probably a reflection of in the Western society anyway, that as adults we spend so much time up here, and we're not so connected with our feelings and bodily sensations, right? And it's okay to project, you know, your feelings and bodily sensations outward, but then when you do that, you're also caught up in the head. You're not examining what's going on internally as well, right? And of course, I'm not condoning all the wrongdoings in the world. It's just, I think that if we want to grow, if we want to become mature, I don't think mature is defined by the age. To me, it's defined by our own inner landscape. So if we want to do that, we must do our own work so that we can grow. So then the part of natural body is really important, because when we're caught up in our heads, yes, we know we're stressed. We can label our emotions. Some people find it hard even, but I think the most important thing is your bodily sensations, because when you are becoming more and more aware of your bodily sensations, then you know that you are caught up in your narratives and stories that are not serving you, right? And a lot of times it's very hard to back away. For example, I can use example, if you as an employee, I know you're not, but if your boss constantly gives you work and you're feeling stressed and you're a good worker, it's very natural to have a narrative or stories going, my boss made me work too much, right? It's just natural. And of course, you'll have tension in your stomach if you tap into that narrative, even though it's not true in your life situation. But the beauty of our body's wisdom is that when our head cannot break away from that narrative, but our body is reminding us when we become aware, it's telling us it's like an iceberg. It's like it's only a tip of the iceberg. You haven't seen the other bits of the iceberg, right? So it's not saying that your narrative is not true. All I'm saying is it's just only a tip of the iceberg. And whenever I think when I was ill, a lot of the stuff I just feel, well, it's obviously true. How can it not be true? It took me a long time to eventually realize, as long as my body is telling me I'm stressed or there's tension somewhere, however I want to label my emotion, as long as I have these negative bodily sensations, tensions, pains, whatever, that means I only know, as a human me, I only know a tip of the iceberg. I don't know the whole truth. And that really propelled me to look deeper and go, okay, I need to practice nature process. I need to really feel these emotions. I know they're not pleasant, but there's really no way around it, right? And I think also the beauty of practicing the nature process is you don't have to stay in your home to just feel it in your study or whatever corner of your home. You can go outside in your garden if you can make it, or go to the forest if your energy is allowing you. is that because we're living in a time where, to be honest, it's quite crazy, right? And we have a lot of intensity in our emotions. So when you can go outside, even to your garden, or go to the forest, you're not just using this body of you to engage with these negative emotions. You've got the natural world, and the earth is so big that can handle a lot. It's like when we breathe in oxygen and breathe out the carbon dioxide, it's like the earth is helping you recycling everything. So yeah, so so from that side is the earth can help you when you feel your emotions are intense. So don't just like, I just have to feel this myself. If you feel it's too intense, go out to your garden. And it's very important to move your body a little bit. Not just, obviously you got to make sure you're comfortable. You don't want to strain your body or anything. What's interesting is when we grow up, we're conditioned to oh, I can't just move my body like this, right? Like if people see me, like they just think I'm silly or whatever. Like, we're all conditioning our head. You've had your children, I'm sure, when they're young, you'll just see them move their body naturally, right? Like they just know, right? And I haven't had pets like dogs or cats, but I've heard people saying that when their pets had a fright, they just shake it off. Like you could just tell, like they're just shaking it off. And also, if you read the book, The NatrueProcess, there's a chapter about the horse. The horse, they're just so natural. They can, obviously, if you walk with them, they can sense your emotions, but they're also very good at just shaking their bodies to get rid of all the stress, right? So that's like what we can learn from animals. And if down the track, not immediate, because you've got other things you want to deal with, if you feel practice natural body, like in terms of the body aspect, just in this particular, you want to go deeper, you can always pick up a practice. I don't know, like the world is your oyster, really. Like there's so many yoga, right? Can do dance, and in the dances, all sorts of types of like it's just you have to see what's your natural attraction, right?
I've written down shaking actually, because I did do when I was involved sort of in a mindfulness and a women's circle, and the lady that ran that, I remember her doing a session where we were just all shaking shaking all of our body, and I was thinking, God, I haven't done that for a long time, but actually it's a good one, isn't it? Because if you literally shake all of you, you're releasing it. So it's good to be reminded.
And of course breathing, because you're doing eco nidra, so I assume it's about breathing, right? So it's so there's extra practices that you can deepen your connection with the body, because again, without natural presence, without natural body, you'll get caught up in your head and you'll move to a natural attraction that you think you're attracted to, but you're not actually attracted to. So then of course you end up probably wasting your time.
Time is short. I don't want to do that.
And in the context of practicing the natural presence with natural attraction is, you've done your natural presence, natural body, and you move without doing the reflection exercise, which you could do later, but just really going through the different components of the nature process. You go to a tree or plants, whatever it is that can help you, support you to let go of your negative emotions. Because then by being present and really tuning to your body will let you know which aspects of nature that you are truly attracted to. then you can just choose that spot. And then the challenge hasn't covered the natural communication. If you look into the book, it's there.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
What natural communication is about is taking your relationship with nature even further. So it's seeing nature as the equal partner. So it's not like our humans are just on the top, we're so intelligent, blah, blah, blah. Like you just, like, no, we are here to explore.
A resource for us humans, yeah.
So, and when people think about how does nature communicate, obviously it's very strange, but if you've got pets communicate to you, right? If you observe the weather, you see the thunderstorm, then you know it's gonna rain, right? So these are just very simple things, but in the context of in the context of practicing the natural process, is about finding a spot and asking for permission. You can extend that permission, into a broader context, but for the simplicity's sake, that it's really asking, for example, whether it's a tree or plant, can you support me to let go of my negative emotions? And it's about using your senses, because that's why when it comes to the natural presence is so important, that when you are already so present, and when you ask the question, whether it's out loud or silent, then you'll tap into your senses, and then you'll feel in your body, rather than go, I don't actually speak in their language, how can I know, right? Like as you practice more and more, you'll just know that through your feelings, through your sensory experiences, it's a sign that nature is telling you that, yes, there's a consent. Of course, you can tell by your feeling, because if your jaw is tight, or if your shoulder is tight, or if your stomach, when you feel a pit in there, and if you ask for permission and you actually instantly feel better already, means you've got a yes. So sometimes it's an after effect, rather than you just hang on to, has nature said yes or no? I've got no idea. But if you've already felt better, then it is a consent, it is given. Then you say thank you, and the last part of natural, which is natural release, is automatically done by nature. So after you've gone through natural presence, natural body, natural attraction, and natural communication, you don't need to do any work about natural release. And of course, it's possible that you don't feel any release. It's possible, which then you have to go through the cycle again. And because sometimes it's also the timing. Yeah.
And go through the cycle again at the same spot or somewhere else? Yeah.
Somewhere else. But it could be somewhere else. It could be the same spot, because when I say the spot, because you could have a different natural attraction, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you have to really tune into your body, becoming present, and go, what does my body say? Like, because it's like, if you, I don't know what fruit you like, if you're really into orange, you just know that your body likes orange, right? Like you just go, no thanks, I don't like apples, right? I'm sorry if I mixed up, right? It like your body just know. It's like that. Like there's no logic behind it. Like you might be able to put into logic, but like when you compare your feelings and logic, the logic is just like all the extra things that you're trying to convince yourself, but really there's no need to convince, because your body just knows.
Yeah, it's interesting. That does resonate with something I've read about forest bathing as well, about signs from trees and things as well. So things I haven't tried out actually, so that would be interesting to try as well.
Yeah. So I think that's all I want to say. Is I jam-packed in a lot, but I just want to give you an overall view about the nature process. And the reason that I decided not to put in natural communication is really the people I work with, their relationships aren't there yet with the natural communication, because it takes practice, and also yeah, and also if you are stressed and if we're got a very analytical brain, it's like it takes time to ground everything in your head into your body and really trust the guidance of your body and also nature.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes time, doesn't it? You know, as you say, it's literally is practice and the processing and remembering and trying it out as well. So it's been really interesting, really interesting. I'm glad I picked this week to do it.
Yeah, it's like everything. You got to put in time. And when I developed this challenge, I was conscious that people are busy. That's why the videos are not that long, the lifetime's not that long, and the exercises I can't cut any shorter because
no.
Yeah,
you won't get the value out of them. No,
you won't get any value out of it. So yeah, it's again, it's okay. Yeah, people are stressed, but you got to prioritize, really.
Yeah. And have you done the challenge many times before? You said you did it last year.
Yeah. So last year was I didn't catch your question. What was that?
Have you done it quite a few times?
Was only once, and then this year I did it in June. So this is the third time I'm running the challenge. Yeah, it was last year was tuning into nature, and it was the time to do it. And then I did it in the Facebook. Was a good beta version. I'm proud of it. Like it's not perfect, and when it's not perfect, then you didn't launch it too early. I mean, too late. I mean, yeah.
No. It would be. One thing I have learnt into over this year is working seasonally, and I suppose actually that would be very interesting to sort of see how this does work in different seasons as well. Because I think, are you in winter?
Yeah. So right now I'm in winter. So then I'm working with people. Winter is like a time for people to go inward, but also it's like also a laying a foundation for the next year as well. So I can see both ways.
Yes, interesting. Yes. No, it's really good. That's right.
Yeah, so the last thing I want to say is obviously keep practicing, and I suggest you spend time in nature and see whether you are attracted to book a complimentary coaching session with me, because then I don't know if you've gone through the content in day 5. It's with coaching, it's you have somebody holding the space for you, really just really holding you in gently in that space, so that you can go into places that you may not be aware yourself, to see where you can explore and what actions you can take.
I haven't looked at all of day 5. I think I looked at one bit, but not everything as well. That's great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, and then from there, then you can see again how NatrueProcess can be applied in a different context. Because the stuff we're doing here is about facilitating, and then when it's applied in coaching, then your mind will think differently.
Yes. And I think you've got an example of someone there that you've coached or you're coaching, haven't you? So I started to watch it, but I ran out of time, so we'll go back and have a good look.
It's just an offer, and again, follow your natural attraction. In this world, there's so many, you should do this, you should do that, and of course, when it's aligned, should becomes I'm attracted to do that. Sometimes it's the same, but other times when you don't feel good about it, then of course you have to see if there are any stories in your head that's blocking you, right? So that's again, it's all part of the nature process. Do you have any stories? You got to go into your body to see if there are any stories, right?
That makes sense. I've just written down stories as well, because obviously you picked up on my my reflections out in the garden as well. Made me think really about stories.
Yeah, it is, because sometimes we, like, even for example, I go into a coaching session, and then my coach can pick up, I've got stories, right? Like, it's okay to have stories, as long as you don't let that to be in your way of personal development, right? Because when we have stories, then the default option is we follow our story so that we don't feel bad. We want to go back to our default mode to feel better, to feel secure. But then we are not seeing the other side, the other possibilities of life, right? When we can let go of all these fears, doubt, insecurities, or whatever, or we're prioritizing others of ourselves, right? So all the other things, I mean, there are tons out there. It's just some of the things in my head. So it's like that. And some stories come and go, but I think for me, what I want to share right now is, if you, like, we all have patterns of our stories. For me, my choice is always working on them. They're layers and layers until they, yes, I can still access them, but they become like a tiny insect in the background, like in my awareness. They no longer bother me anymore. And then at that moment, then maybe I can call, oh, I've finally done some good work.
Yes, it's a really nice way to think about it, actually. Reducing them, shrinking them to back to being tiny as well.
And again, coming to the nature process, you can't really, because there's, on LinkedIn, for example, because I'm active on this social platform, there's so many posts which I feel quite pissed off about. Is like just all these things, okay, telling people about, oh, you gotta, like, it's all about mindset, right? Like, it's all about, like, you gotta focus on the positive things, but what about your body? Like, nobody talks about this kind of stuff, right? Like, how can you shift your perspectives without engaging with your body? Like, you're just totally bypassing it.
Yes, it's like as you say, it's like a front, isn't it? Without all the substance behind, as in our body as well. Yes. Yeah, you give me lots to think about. That's good, thank you.
Good. Yeah. For me, is these challenges, the exercises are good if you just want to have a taste of it. But for me, I'm always, okay, live. I'm here to give people value, to give people things to think about, and also what's practical, as well.
Yeah, it's great, thank you.
Well, I think that's it, if you haven't got anything else. And
no.
Yeah,
it's been really good. It's been interesting to sort of just learn a different way as well. I'm glad I went for the book as well, because that's obviously going to deepen my knowledge as well.
For me is I always, like, with me, if I'm into a new territory, of course I'll get my hands dirty, but eventually I want a proper structure. And that's why I think having the book is good, because unless you listen to my live, and you probably have to really listen to a few times to go, oh, I'm actually talking about a structure. But having the book with you, then you don't need to listen, because it's just slower. You can read faster, isn't it?
Yes, and you can reread, can't you, when you've got the context
and
stuff as well, and how it's helped. And you're in the book as well, Claire, aren't you? So
I am.
Which is lovely to see. Yeah.
All right. Let me know if you want to take up the coaching call. Again, follow your natural attraction, at the same time examine your stories.
Yes, I will do. Thank you. And I'm going to post the video as well. I'll go make a cup of tea and then I'll post it, and then see what you think. I'll be interested to know.
Awesome.
Okay. Thank you very much. Lovely to speak to you again this morning.
Well, take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.